So what's the deal with heavy duty boots lately? No matter where you go nowadays, it seems like people are talking about it. Whether it's on YouTube, on the forums, the Showdown chat servers, even my own doctor can't seem to stop talking about them. When the item was first released at the beginning of the Sword and Shield meta, expectations for them were pretty high. It seemed like it would open up the field for a lot of stealth rock weak Pokemon to enter the top of the meta. Less than a year into the game, and all of a sudden they're considered so good, they may be one of the very few items in Pokemon to ever qualify for a ban. And that's even after Cinderace, who was one of the top users of the item, has been removed from overused. So why is this? Before we dive into the discussion of the ban, let's talk about the basics of the item. Heavy Duty Boots negates the effects of all entry hazards on the Pokemon that use them. That means your Pokemon takes no damage from spikes or stealth rocks, even if it's weak to them, in addition to not being poisoned by toxic spikes or slowed by sticky webs. And before we talk about the more subtle consequences of that, this is already immediately good. I've said it a million times in the past, but stealth rocks and spikes are amazing because they're the only moves in the game that can permanently punish switching. They are a bedrock of competitive play because they add a small cost to switching and prevent your opponent from swapping out every single turn. Heavy Duty Boots removing that component of play is already kind of insane, even if you're giving up another item like leftovers or an attack boosting item. Now, one of the first things that jump to mind when you're thinking of this item is how it opens the door for a lot of Pokemon who were severely hurt by the universality of rocks in the past. Fire types like Arcanine can now be used as defensive pivots who come in frequently and swap back out, or flying type defoggers like Mandibuzz can now come in and defog with zero consequence. I think this is a big reason why the item is so popular with so many players. Some of their favorite Pokemon that just couldn't survive in a stealth rock dominated meta, like Volcarona, Chandelure, or even Noivern, all of a sudden have become much more competitively viable, assuming they don't have their boots knocked off or tricked or whatever. So yeah, on a surface level it seems great, right? More Pokemon being viable in the tier can only mean it's good for a healthy meta, right? So why exactly do some players want this item banned? I kind of alluded to this earlier, but the main concern with heavy duty boots is how risk-free it makes swapping between your Pokemon. Normally, for example, Blissey walls a special attacker like Hydreigon completely, with little concern. But when you add Stealth Rocks to the mix, it only takes a couple swap-ins before the Blissey will need to heal. With Heavy Duty Boots, this relationship is shifted dramatically. Now Blissey turns from a big special wall into a pivot that can swap in on the Hydreigon, essentially for free, and then to make matters worse, can now teleport out afterwards to steal the momentum from you. It's wild to say, but in the sequence of turns, you've actually lost your advantage from clicking Draco Meteor against Dracozolt, because now you're facing a kind of scary matchup, which actually leads me to my next point. There is a lot of pivoting in the Sword and Shield meta right now, like a lot. I've broken down Teleport before and why it's perhaps the best pivoting move in the game, but even if you look at the Pokemon without access to Teleport, there's still a ton of Volt Switch and U-Turn users in the tier. By my count, of the 34 Pokemon currently in Overused, 18 have access to a move like this. This leads to a lot of difficult 50-50 situations where if you're facing a scary offensive Pokemon, you're not even sure if going to the Pokemon that walls it is the correct move, because they might just use a pivoting move to swap out into an even better matchup. Sidebar, this is a huge reason why we've also seen a huge jump in Rocky Helmet usage, because it's one of the few moves that can punish this playstyle. So this huge amount of pivoting would normally be balanced out with the Stealth Rock chip that would accumulate over the course of the game. And again, at the very least require you to stop and, maybe pass a wish to one of your weakened Pokemon. This effect is drastically reduced when you add Heavy Duty Boots to the game, as these Pokemon can now continue to pivot on you indefinitely. As a result, many top players, including BKC and Blunder, are saying that this should be banned. Personally, as for myself, I think it's a little bit too early to say, and I think we maybe need a bit more time to kind of feel out their effect on the meta. As much as I love all the cool new fire and bug and flying types that are in the meta right now, I really would not be surprised if they were considered too unhealthy when all is said and done. That's going to do it for today's video. Before I leave though, I wanted to ask you guys what you think about a possible Heavy Duty Boots ban. These discussions are still very early, and at least speaking for myself, I'd love to see some more arguments and points from both sides of the argument, because as I said, I'm still undecided. So leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the topic. Otherwise, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.